Hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome back once again to another very exciting episode of the Disney Compendium, Volume 32. As usual, I am your host, JJ, and over there on the other end of my line is my good friend, my co-host extraordinaire, Nick. Nick, how you doing?
Doing great, JJ. We made it.
We made it.
Disney's Hamlet, baby.
Yeah, there we go. Finally, what we've needed.
Ghost Dad.
Go.
Not the Bill Cosby Ghost Dad. Murderous Uncle.
Murderous Uncle.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, it's all there. Stealing Thrones. It's all there for you. Elton John. I'm pretty sure Elton John was in Hamlet. I may
but
not.
Yeah,
I may be remembering things wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was in.
He was in the background somewhere.
Yeah, he was in the background somewhere.
Because as we know, Elton John really inconspicuous.
back, like that was the thing. Like Shakespeare was just like, look at this inconspicuous man back then.
This guy with like the the platform heels and the glowing sunglasses.
Yeah,
stick him in the back somewhere.
June 15th, 1994, The Lion King.
Yeah.
Jungle Emperor Leo.
Yeah. So, did you see this in theaters when it first came out?
Absolutely.
Guess what? I didn't.
You're too old for it.
No, I had the chance to. We were on summer break, and my mom and my sister were like, "Hey, we're going to Lion King." I'm like, cool, I want to go Lion King. And my dad's like, "Oh, but I'm going to go see the Flintstones. Why don't you come with me?" So I saw the Flintstones.
Well, you certainly made a choice. What that choice was good or bad, I'm not going to say, but you did make a choice. Did the Flintstones open the same weekend as the Lion King?
It was a bad choice.
When did the Lion King open again, I say?
June 15th, 1984.
June 15th? Don't tell me that's when that movie decided it was going to open.
I don't know if it came out at the same time, but it was out.
I have to see now. This is for my own.
Okay.
I have to know when the Flintstones came out. Nope, I keep spelling Flintstones wrong. It's like May 27th, so it had been out.
Oh yeah,
for a few weeks at this point.
Yep, I didn't say it was new. I just said we saw it.
Okay, well, look, the Flintstones, the original live-action movie, not necessarily a bad movie.
Look, I've only seen two movies with my dad, just me and him, ever. One was the Flintstones, and one was Casino Royale. So I'm 1 for 2.
I don't know why you hate Casino Royale so much, but
no, I know. It's like, yeah. I know you go with your dad all the time, and you see good movies. Not my old man. He likes garbage.
Yeah. My dad constantly is trying to take me to Mark Wahlberg movies, which I just really don't. I can't. It's bad.
Let's go see the Italian Job. Let's go.
Yeah, it's like, no, I don't want to see Contraband. But here we are sitting in the movie theater watching Contraband.
Like we bought tickets to see this movie.
We are probably 2 of the 25 people on the planet that could say we went opening weekend to Contraband.
Yeah.
And 5 of them are Wahlbergs.
Yeah. It's always funny when you go to those movies, you're like, I paid money to see this movie in the theater when it's going to be like, probably on TNT in like 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, and we're talking like, it's like, this is going to be on DVD in like 3 months. We could just wait. But no, I paid movie theater prices for something like that. So
I paid movie theater prices because a friend of mine wanted to go see the Chris Hemsworth Red Dawn.
Oh.
Yep.
Notable because that movie had been done for like 5 years.
But he was the new hotness at the time.
Yeah, it was like permanent, like, indefinitely shelved for various reasons. Most of it being that they had to edit the heck out of it to remove any instance of like actual recognizable evil country,
Right.
make it a generic evil foreign mega power or some
Yep.
sort.
Yep.
Um,
It was a movie that was
it
made.
certainly exists. But yeah, it's like whenever you think about some movies that you saw, like I had to go see Van Helsing opening weekend, huh? It's an interesting move. Okay, sure.
It's like, why did I buy a ticket to see Never Back Down? Don't know, but I did.
I was very excited to see opening weekend when they remade The Wolfman. Uh, uh,
Boy, I
Universal
feel like
monster movies. And, like, heck yeah, a new one in theaters. I'm going to go see The Wolfman. So,
Benicio del Toro's a big fan. That should be great.
yeah, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, oh, this is, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Yeah, yeah, so Lion King, not one of those movies.
No.
Uh,
Hey, if you have a choice between seeing Lion King and Flintstones, watch the Lion King.
unless you're Nick's dad, then choose the Flintstones.
My dad would still choose the Flintstones. I'm not
Like,
even
to this
joking.
day, if you put a DVD on
Absolutely.
if you took two DVDs out, put them on the coffee table, and say pick one, he will grab the
Yes.
Flintstones without
Yes, he would.
hesitation.
Yes, he would. He and I started watching Hard Rain like 5 years ago, and he'll still occasionally ask if we can finish it. It's like, that's Hard Rain. It's not.
No, we're not.
Like,
No, we're not going back to Hard Rain.
granted, I love Hard Rain, but you know, it'll be on TV eventually.
Movie is notable for one major reason, and it's, other than being a massive success, obviously. Um,
Right.
it is the last movie of the Michael Eisner Frank Wells partnership, because a couple of
Hmm.
months prior to release, Frank Wells died in a helicopter accident.
Right. There's a
Uh,
memoriam for him at the end of the
at the
movie
end of
too.
during the credits, there's an in memoriam for Frank Wells, who was president, and um, you know, it's the beginning of the end of sort of Michael Eisner,
Hmm.
even though it takes several years. Uh, the loss of Frank Wells sort of starts spiraling Michael Eisner. Things start happening, and he starts making worse and worse decisions, and he has a medical event. The Katzenberg stuff, everything.
Right.
Like, this is, and you notice it really quickly too. Like, the movies from here on out are just on a steady downward trend. Um, I'm not saying some of
Yeah.
them are. I'm not saying, like, even there's some that are going to come out in what would be to us a few weeks, but in a few years of
Yeah.
studio time, there's some movies that aren't up to the quality of these last several that we've done, but are still like really good movies. But again,
Yeah.
it's a noticeable trend of quality and going forward, and you'll see it everywhere at Disney. Like,
I,
theme park get hit, the animation division gets hit. Things like TV and film tend to be holding on okay, but not
I
so
feel
much.
like it's more up and down because like next week we have Pocahontas, which
Pocahontas.
down from this. But
Yeah,
then you have Hercules, which is better than Pocahontas, I think.
yeah,
And then you have Punchback, which down from then
yeah,
you have Mulan, so it's kind of like up and down, up and down, up
yeah,
and down.
yeah.
Yeah,
But like, they don't back down on music in any of
no,
these, which is like,
no,
which is good, because like they're massive, like the musically. But even in terms of like money, it's a definite noticeable trend. Um,
they gave Mel Gibson a song in the next movie, guys.
yeah, they did. Think
They
about
sure
that.
did. Did
But
they cut it? But it's on the
it
soundtrack.
exists, and it's there. Um, This is The Lion King promoted. This Disney promoted this movie as their first, like, a wholly original idea. So that, which, like, yeah, that's arguable, but
For reasons we mentioned at the top of the show, but then
yeah.
Kimbo the White Lion and
Kimba
those.
the White Lion. I don't know if we should just get into the Kimba stuff out the gate, or if we should kind of pepper it in or whatever. I feel like getting it out of the gate is probably the better scenario
Sure.
because it's going to take it's not going to take a long time, but there is sort of minute details that will wrap into the plot a little bit and stuff. So, Kimba the White Lion is it started off as a manga series, a Japanese comic book for those that
Yep.
don't know, in the 50s. And its original run was from 50 to 54 by Osamu Tezuka, best known for Astro Boy. That's
He's the guy who looks like Bob's Big Boy.
Yeah, he looks.
Flying around.
Yeah. It's just a little Bob's Big Boy, is robot in his underpants, and Tezuka was well known, massive artist. He was at the height of his popularity. He was known as the Walt Disney of Japan, and like he was a massive Disney fan. Like he loved Walt Disney stuff to the point like he made Japanese comic adaptations of Bambi.
Huh.
Yeah. Like so, and I think they met at the World's Fair at one point, and like the story goes that Walt says that I hope someday to make something as good as Astro Boy, which is that's a nice thing to say to a creator who is inspired by you.
Right. So had Walt actually seen Astro Boy?
Yeah, I thought he would. I mean, being animation and wanting to know like what's going on, I'm almost certain he was seeing Astro Boy. This was the early '60s, when it was animated.
Right.
Astro Boy is just always been around. It feels like it's like one of those earliest cartoon. It's a black and white cartoon,
Right.
so it's and this is.
It was part of the Fox Kids lineup later on when they brought it back, I think. Right?
Yeah, there's been multiple reboots of Astro Boy, and like some of varying success. There was not that long ago. There was a movie.
Color me surprised.
Yeah. But yeah, so a massive success, and so when he created Kimba the White Lion, it's when you read it, Kimba itself is closer in tone to Bambi. It's sort of his version of Bambi, very similar in tone and execution, because he was a massive fan of Bambi. That was like, that was sort of a big inspiration to him. And there was an animated series, an anime released in 1965 of Kimba the White Lion. Again, massive success, inspired obviously again by Bambi. Like a massive success where it was the first colored anime.
Oh wow!
Yeah, which is crazy to think that, like, again, he's the Walt Disney of Japan, so of course he's going to push that limit. And so when the Lion King comes out, this series is already incredibly well known. And you can't setting it in an African setting like this, you're going to run across similarities. You can't help it.
Right.
But people will tell you that, and with good reason. It's like some of these things are beyond just similarities. There's a lot
besides
of scenes.
The name.
Yeah, besides the name. And the story goes that Matthew Broderick, when he signed on, he just assumed he was doing the Kimba movie, like Disney's adapting Kimba. Like that was like he was telling people that I'm going to be Kimba in this, and that's like they're just that's they're just saying it wrong or whatever, But
Matthew Broderick, huge weeb.
yeah, like because it's the '60s. I mean, at this point, Speed Racer was also already a hit in
Right.
America. So like Kimba and Speed Racer were already on
Right.
American shelves and translated and everything. So it was a thing that everyone knew. Um, and you can't help but notice similarities, the similar things of like shot like side by side they look similar, right down to seeing your dead father in the stars in the sky and things like that. Like there are just massive similarities. I don't. I think the problem that really falls into it is that the stories aren't the same.
Right.
Lion King really is more Hamlet, whereas Kimba is more Bambi. Like it is their it is their Bambi story, and because it's more about humans, like humanity interacting with nature, kind of thing in Kimba,
Right.
as opposed to Lion King, which is just African wilderness. But I think the major problem I have is that the people involved are so clearly lying about certain stupid things. Like,
So they're the real Lion Kings.
Yeah, they're the Lion Kings. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they will say things like, "Oh, I never saw I never saw Kimba. I don't even know of its existence or whatever." It's like that could patently be untrue because the director of the movie, um, like lived and was working in animation in the '80s in Tokyo.
So he knew of it.
Like again,
It's,
Tezuka was the Walt Disney of Japan.
right.
There was stuff going on in the '80s with Kimba. There is a less than 0% chance that he has no idea what
Right.
Kimba the White Lion is. Absolutely not. Your star knew what Kimba the White Lion was.
And you're an animator.
Yeah, you're an animator. You're an animator in Japan at the height of Tezuka's career. Like, it just makes zero sense. Like, it's that stuff that makes people that furthers the controversy surrounding it. Like, there's like, why are you just lying about it? Your animators knew nothing about Kimba. Your lead actor knew what Kimba was. Roy Disney, when he was talking about the movie, accidentally said Kimba at one point. So,
yeah, it's like yeah, I was there. Robotech, what's that?
It makes no sense. And early shots of if you see early sort of presentation shots, show Simba as a white lion. So it's like I don't think they ripped off Kimba. I don't think they just took Kimba and made their own version. I think some things are just circumstance. I think it's just like it's an African setting. Of
Right.
course, they're going to have, a baboon character that's like,
an antelope and whatever.
Yeah. Like, now the fact that some of them are very, very similar to one another, like the baboon characters between both have very similar sort of presence in the movie. But again, you're doing African-based story. Things are going to be similar. There's
Right.
a couple of the things that are like this, seeing him in the stars and everything. You would have a hard time convincing me that it wasn't just an animator inspired by it, a storyboarder. Like, he's a director. Like I said, the director lived in Japan in the '80s. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be hard for me to think otherwise. I don't think it's 100%. I don't think it's them trying to steal Kimba, but I think they stole some visual cues from it for sure, because it had to have been burned in some people's minds. If you're in animation, you had been for probably several years, you would absolutely know what Kimba the White Lion is, especially throughout the '80s. You would have absolutely known.
I mean, what's the
and there was no lawsuits or anything around it because the studio, the Tezuka's family or whatever, would have known that there's no way you're winning against Disney. Like there's like a 0% chance that you're gonna win against Disney. So like it never went anywhere. It was just like
What would be the harm in going like, yeah, you know what? There was some inspiration there. Like,
Yeah, I don't
what?
know.
Why are you pushing this narrative? Like, we just pull that out of our butt. Like,
Yeah,
it's weird.
yeah.
Mm.
It's the narrative of none of the animators knew about it. That is 100% impossible. Like, there's no
Because
way. There's
it,
no
it,
way.
it,
Like, you're in the animation industry and your director lived in Japan in the 80s as an
yeah,
animator.
because animators are influenced by surprise other animators.
Yeah, it's
Usually,
that,
like, I'm just drawing. I just like drawing.
like it's like yeah, it's like no Looney Tunes. Yeah, no, that's just we just came up
What's
with that.
that?
We just came up
Yeah.
with Looney Tunes. I don't care that it's a silly symphonies. I don't know. It's no, we just had
Mm.
an idea of musical cartoons, funny musical cartoons. It's so silly symphony. So Looney Tunes. Yeah, it's like no, we get it. Like you saw something that was good, and you said I could do something good too. So so the controversy is there. The controversy will never go away. And Disney, it's like, and in Japan, it's a whole nother story. If you go over there and have this same conversation, it's they stole every ounce of this movie, which again untrue. If anything, Kimba stole more from Bambi than this movie stole from Lion King, or from Lion King stole from Kimba, Jungle Emperor Leo, or whatever you're talking about. So
Yeah. So hey, guess what? We're even.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's all, and he did work with Disney. Like those he did the manga adaptations of Bambi and stuff. Like
Right.
and him and Walt knew each other. Things like it's so yeah, it's a very interesting story that kind of it goes nowhere and it will go nowhere for eternity because it just is what it is, and it doesn't change the fact that this movie is phenomenal. And
No, it doesn't change.
yeah, because again, this movie is not like plot wise, it's not like Kimba. Like aesthetically, it's very much like Kimba. Um, but yeah, plot wise, not.
As we said, it's Hamlet.
Yeah, it's Hamlet. It's the plot's Hamlet. So again, Disney promoting it as their own wholly original um,
Yeah.
plot. It's like again, a little tenuous there, but okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's just hard to piece together the source material is what they're saying.
Yeah. I love spoiler alert, the thing that's kind of interesting about this movie that I love is that it inexplicably has a late title card.
Oh yeah.
When we say late title card, it is the final scene, The Lion King
Yeah.
credits. Like you can't get a later title card than end of movie. Like the only way you could get that is they put it after the credits.
Yeah. Stay tuned after the credits for the title of the movie.
Yeah. Because at the end is when he becomes the Lion King.
Yes.
It's like at the end of Batman Begins, where Batman Begins is the same thing, where it has the late title card at the very end of the movie with Batman Begins. It's like, well, I mean, technically, this is where Batman's beginning now at this point.
Right.
So,
Yeah, the movie ends, you get that thud, the Lion King.
yeah. So start off. I guess we can go into the plot of Lion King. Get in there.
Castlevania.
Well, it's that you're gonna have to expand upon that joke for the listeners because I know what that is.
So my son has been watching me play the Castlevania collection that Konami put out recently. It's about like what 8 games, I think.
Yes. It's a video game collection for people that are here just with Disney talk and not.
Yeah, it's a video game collection where you're basically going around. Your goal is to kill Dracula. Well,
Yeah.
let's boil it down that way. My son's been watching me play it, and we watched The Lion King last night. And as soon as this opening song comes in, he goes, "Castlevania,"
Yeah,
which
to
I find amusing as his father.
Yeah, and
as somebody who loves Castlevania.
Yeah, and as you say it, I was like, I guess that, and you keep saying it in your head over and over again. It's like, yeah, no, that's exactly how it lines up. It lines up perfect. So yeah, that's ruined for me forever. So
yep. And we decided that for you big Castlevania nerds, we decided that it's now Can You Hear the Symphony of the Night and Circle of the Moon.
So, yeah, we start off with the birth of Simba. Uh, I mean, it's basically it. That's what the movie starts
Yeah,
off with, the birth of Simba. It's not
Rafiki
Rafiki uh, going. I don't know what is
bro
he. What?
hugs Mufasa.
Yeah, yeah. It gives him just a real hearty hug.
They
Uh,
put some sticky stuff on Simba's head.
yeah, cracks open a fruit of some
Fruit?
sort.
Yeah.
Takes the uh, pulpy goodness from the inside. I don't know if this is how culturally ignorant I am. It's like this thing that I don't know about. Like I don't know. I feel like it
It,
is, and I just don't know it. I don't know enough about you know cultural like African anything. I guess.
the, we're yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what, guys? For audio listeners only, we're just two white dudes, so
Yeah.
we're pretty ignorant.
Yeah. Pretty ignorant when it comes to this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just a whole big ceremony going on.
He put that sweet stickiness on that baby's head.
Yeah, he's marinating the cub,
Yeah,
and yeah. I don't know. I can't. The internet has ruined a lot of things. So it's the when like Rafiki has Simba, like but there's
yeah,
like the picture of like him, and then he just like, throws him off the top of the cliff.
yeah.
Like that's like I was waiting for that in my mind watching the movie again. Just throwing
Do you
Simba
know
off the cliff.
one of my favorite memes from Lion King was years ago. Remember when CM Punk was in the Nexus and he turned on Wade Barrett and the "Help Me Brother" scene, and he's trying to Wade Barrett's reaching for Punk.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
fantastic. Um, so yeah, we're what is it? After we meet Scar shortly after this,
yeah.
where
Voiced by Jeremy Irons.
yeah, doing just
Jeremy's Iron. That's
he just
pretty good for first try.
yeah. Um, but yeah, with Mufasa being
I
like,
have a ball. Perhaps you'd like to bounce it.
it's just it now. We're just gonna do Simpsons.
Yeah.
I mean, Simpsons did make a reference
Oh, yeah.
with exactly what we're talking about earlier. With the it's like hello Kimba. I mean
Yeah.
Simba.
This is CNN.
There we go. Got that one out of the way. It was bound to
Yeah.
come up sooner or later in this, whether it be
Uh,
here or when we actually get to that scene in the movie. But
oh, yeah. We should talk about that. Like, the only returning voice actor is James Earl Jones.
yeah,
He's come back as Mufasa, which is exciting.
Yeah, it's always funny when they do like we're gonna do a reboot, but they bring back and are like a person like it's gonna be our own separate thing, but also we're bringing this person from the original one here. Like,
But he's the voice of Mufasa. So, I
yeah,
mean, like you if you want to slide in Donald Glover as Simba, that's fine. Hey, man, that's fine.
but I do like Mufasa being like, hey, so you weren't at the party.
Yeah.
Doing the exact opposite of like Maleficent, or it's like
Yeah.
where she wasn't invited to the party. You were invited to the party, dude. He's
You're
like,
my
yeah,
you're my brother.
he just chews the scene as Scar.
Oh yeah.
Like every scene that he's in, he's just hamming it up, and I love it. It really is. He understands that it's a Shakespearean play. Like
I'm afraid I got the shallow end of the gene pool.
yeah, it's great in this role. Um, I do like um, Mufasa explaining to Simba the circle of life and all that stuff. Like they do a lot of fatherly interactions between him and
Yeah.
Simba. So when what happens, there's a little
It
more
hit you
weight to it.
harder.
Yeah, because you do see multiple scenes of him interacting positively with his dad, and
Yeah.
his dad being a positive influence on him, and trying to balance being king and being dad, and explaining to him like this is you're my son, but also I have to think about like this is going to be yours someday.
Yeah.
And you have to
That's
think about that too.
there's a reason this movie resonates with men that either didn't know their father or their dad died at a young age. So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah. So Scar, obviously, this being Hamlet, wants the throne.
right.
And so he concocts a plot to uh, get both Mufasa and Simba out of the picture.
Yeah.
So he tricks Simba to go to the elephant graveyard.
Yeah.
Um, and
Which
so,
Mufasa's already said, don't go over there.
yeah, Mufasa's already said, what about where the light doesn't touch? No, just don't. That's
Yeah.
not you. Don't go there. Um,
This
so,
ain't it, Chief.
yes. Um, so yeah, Simba. We're also, with Nala. We're introduced to Nala as
Yeah.
well.
The water hole.
Yeah, the little girl that plays Nala is absolutely killing it. Like,
Yeah.
she understands what's going on, and
Yeah.
yeah, she does a great job.
I love
Better than Jonathan Taylor Thomas does as Simba.
yeah.
To be
The two
honest.
lines I love hers is the water hole and pinned you again.
Yeah, just the perfect, just perfect line delivery.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so Simba and Nala sort of the moms both know, yeah, okay, the water hole, wink wink, just go out and do your thing.
Yeah.
You're betrothed to one another anyway, so you might as well get to know one another.
Yeah.
um, but you have to take Zazu with you.
Right.
Voiced by the one and only Rowan Atkinson, Mr.
AKA
Bean,
Mr. Bean. Yeah.
Mr. Bean himself, or the guy who was very much Mr. Bean, but they couldn't call him Mr. Bean in the movie Rat Race.
Yep. Yep.
That was, yeah. So, or what was it? I can't remember. Blackadder? Is that what that?
Yeah, he was also. Have you ever seen? Oh God, what was that? Love Actually. He's in that too.
Love Actually. Yep, he is in Love Actually.
He's that really annoying jeweler.
Yeah. Johnny English himself.
Yeah, Johnny English.
Zazu. Um, I think it's John Oliver anymore. It sounds right to me. And it's basically the same voice. John Oliver always seems to be doing Zazu in his day-to-day life. So
he looks like John. I mean, he looks like Zazu.
Yeah. So
you put a beak on him, he's Zazu. Yeah.
Yeah. So they concoct a big scheme to break away from Zazu. And that scheme is a massive musical number.
Yeah.
With I Just Can't Wait to Be King.
Right.
Absolutely phenomenal song. Fantastic song. And Disney
in the cake
hard. They reuse that song despite Circle of Life being and Can You Feel the Love Tonight sort of being the tentpole songs of this movie. When you go to anything Disneyland or theme parks or anything, they lean into Can't Wait to Be King.
Can't Be King.
Yeah.
Which it's the one song from this movie that I prefer the movie version as opposed to the Elton John version.
Yeah. It's a great song. It's a funny song. Visually, it loses something when you don't have the animation part with it.
Right.
And I think the Mickey's PhilharMagic version is just as good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun.
It's fun. Yeah, plays really well. And it's in 3D. Well, this was in 3D at one point too.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, by using this song, they're able to break away from Zazu and get to the elephant graveyard, where Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed are waiting for them, which are the three hyenas.
Cheech is back.
Cheech back again for a much better role.
But a much better movie.
Yeah. So Whoopi Goldberg
and Jim Cummings.
Jim Cummings is the mute one, Ed.
Yeah.
Jim Cummings is like his wheelhouse, just sounds.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Don't Google Jim Cummings though.
yeah,
Don't do it.
no, do it.
Just assume everything's okay. Everything's all right.
Yeah, you can type if you're currently on IMDb, you can type his name in.
It's like, what has he done? Don't read any of the trivia or any of the forum questions.
Yeah, you'll
Like,
figure it out.
he did those things.
Yeah. So yeah, you get the three spotted hyenas again. Uh,
Great voice casting.
A great voice casting, and another thing that was like borrowed from Kimba, like the main villain lion with a scar. Both again, Kimba has a main villain lion with one eye. Has his hyena henchman. Again, these are just things like a lion would have. If you're gonna have henchmen, hyenas just make sense.
Yeah, because it's the African wild. So
yeah. I think what he's gonna have a gazelle. No,
no,
he's gonna have hyenas. Because that's how
turncoat gazelle.
Yeah. So yeah,
I don't like.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
I like how he just hands him like a hunk of zebra hide. Like, there you go.
Yeah,
it's like that's kind of gross, dude.
It is. I like that this movie doesn't really like it lets you know, like, this still is the wilds, like they are going to kill these animals, and that's the circle of life thing. That's the way of sort of getting out of showing it is the speech that Mufasa gives Simba with the circle of life speech, but like, there's still plenty of references and things going on. He's like I said, the zebra leg or whatever he talks.
Right.
So the kids are attacked in the elephant graveyard. Mufasa learns of this from Zazu, and this is where you get the another touching father and son moment after the rescued, thanks to Mufasa, and Mufasa just like stepping his foot down on these hyenas, like I like this is your kid? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And Ed's like, yeah.
Ed trying to Ed almost turning completely heel on his buddies.
We get Simba's hilarious little roar here, and they're making fun of him for it.
And then you get the goes for another roar, and Mufasa's roar comes out. Yeah, but so like he's mad at Simba, but again, it is a look. You have to like think about things sometimes. All of the great kings of the past are watching over us. Which, Black Panther also does.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So, they're like this exact same scene. So, so you can't blame, like, it's like we're Inception. We're 3 layers deep in this scene. Like Kimba does the scene, Lion King does the scene, The Simpsons do the scene. Now, like Black Panther does the scene. How many more layers in can you go until you kicked out? Spin your little top and find out which reality you're in.
I mean, in the case of Black Panther, like it's still African heritage, so maybe there's something to it where it's like,
again, that's given the setting. You can these are things that happen. Like this is like that's a thing. That's not just it's
a trope.
It's a trope. So of course. But now Scar, his plan fell apart, so it's time for another trap. Much more. Excuse me, it's a gorge.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Springfield Gorge.
It's a gorgeous gorge. The George's Gorge.
Yeah. So Scar lures Simba into this gorge, and the hyenas startle the wildebeests. And so you have Scar running to tell Mufasa about Simba's in trouble.
Oh no!
Oh no! I have to go save my son again. I'm getting real sick of this brat.
What else? Scar does a really good job of like, oh no, Simba's down there.
Yeah, he does a really good, like, he's trying his best to not, like, let it be known what's going on.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah, Mufasa rushing to save Simba um, finds himself hanging from edge of a cliff.
Right. We should point out here Scar has TKO'd Zazu
Yes,
before he can run back
yeah,
for help. So
exactly.
Zazu doesn't see what goes down.
So Zazu isn't just like being useless here. He's just down for the count during this. Um, so, because Scar needs to make sure that nobody knows what's going on, because if it's discovered that he caused the death, then he'll be overthrown immediately, and
Yeah.
so he needs to cover all of his bases, and he does. For the most part, until the end, until he realizes probably should have just killed Simba.
Yeah. And also not have revealed your secret to him, but
Yeah. Yeah, so Scar, he's Mufasa's hanging from the edge of the cliff and is begging for Scar to save him. But that falls on deaf ears.
yep.
We get the claw retraction, stab into the paws with the perfectly delivered "Long Live the King."
Yeah.
Uh, just like, I wonder how many takes that was to get it just right.
I Well, it was better than the one from Godzilla. So
It's true. It's very true.
put it that way.
Yeah, to get the "Long Live the King" and the animation on on Mufasa's face when he's like, "Oh, I've been
Yeah.
hoodwinked,"
Yeah.
as he falls to his death. Um, again, uh, this is Bambi level of like trauma.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Where,
yeah.
yeah, probably worse because you actually see the corpse and the
You don't
king.
see him die.
Yeah,
It's
but
it was implied he's trampled to death.
yeah, it's implied that he's trampled to death because he falls into the wildebeest as they're rampaging. So stampeding down the gorge. Um, so cut to Simba trying to wake him up.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just like it's a hard scene. It's very
It's
sad.
tough. It's
It's
really tough.
genuinely sad because there's a lot of actual like emotion in the voices, and to see him trying to bump his dad awake and then crawling into his dad's arms to hold him, kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's very heartbreaking. Um, and it's done so well, and it's because the animation is sort of at its peak at the studio at this point. Like it looks good.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. I mean, I've seen that movie like dozens of times. I'm sure you've
Yeah,
seen it more than that.
yeah,
It still hits you every
yeah,
time. You're like, oh,
yeah, yeah. Some
poor baby
things are
lion.
just yeah. Like it's still like it's like it's a baby still. Like I don't know how much time has passed, but it hasn't been much.
Yeah.
It's still getting still having your mom lick you clean as a kitten. Like
Yeah.
um. But then Scar comes, Simba, what have you done? Like
Turn to a
convinced.
thousand wildebeest and travel with my dad. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, uh, so he convinces Simba that he did this. This was your fault. You have to get out of here. You can never show back up again. Um, and Simba runs off and he sends the hyenas after him to kill him. He gets away. It's
Yeah.
a
He
very
gets like
like
the bramble. Whatever.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the end of like the Brer Rabbit. Like,
Yeah.
don't throw me into that briar patch,
Yeah.
Um, so they're just like, he didn't make it.
It's something they kind of they revisit later on with Pain and Panic and Hercules. Like, yeah, he's probably dead. He's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
We just won't say anything.
yeah. It's like, listen, he's probably dead. There's nothing like Scar won't know any different. He's run off. Whatever. If he didn't survive, he thinks he did it. So what's the matter? So Scar returns to the Pride and tells the Pride that, hey, uh, the the kid and the king were killed. So now I'm king. So
Yeah.
and my friends here get to live with us.
My friends with the glowing green eyes.
Yeah, not
Totally
my non-ominous friends are now living with us. It's cool if my buddies crash here, right?
right.
We
They're not gonna
did,
pay rent or anything though, but
yeah,
you know, it's
and they're
fine.
gonna eat all your food and not replenish it. But I mean, they're cool. They're cool.
Yeah. Come on, man. They just want to spread good vibes, bro.
Yeah, they're
You know
just
what
trying.
people want?
They just need a place. They're trying to get their GED. It's cool.
Yeah, man.
We did miss out on talking about Scar's musical number of "Be Prepared." Um,
Yeah.
because it's a
The
relatively insignificant number because it doesn't really have any. It doesn't really move the plot forward particularly too much. It's just sort of the evil monologue in song form. It's not like um, "Poor Unfortunate Souls" or something.
no,
It's just a song, and it's not a bad song,
but
but it's the
it's
weakest
a good
of every song.
right. The most significant part of it is the hyenas marching like Nazis,
Yes, that and it's
including the eyes right and the all that stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like like absolutely uh, no subtlety at all with that particular.
No, none.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah. So there we go. So Simba running away, uh, just ups and dies in the middle of the desert.
No, no
Okay,
water, no
he
food.
doesn't die, but surprisingly enough, John Wick does the exact same thing in John Wick 3, Chapter 3 Parabellum, where he just wanders in the desert until he dies, but doesn't. Uh,
Or that guy from Quantum of Solace who wanders the desert and drinks motor oil.
uh, what was that? So, yeah, so this is where you meet Timon and Pumbaa.
Ernie
Uh,
Sabella and Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane, yep. Uh, the mascots of this movie. um,
They're great. They
they're,
do with just
they,
all the voice casting is amazing, and they're maybe the
I mean,
peak of that.
yeah, and they're doing a very, Abbott and Costello
Yeah,
style, like buddy thing, like right down to bodies, like the fat and skinny one kind of
yeah,
situation. So it's you know they knew what they were doing with this, and they leaned
right.
into it hard too. And I think even the new movie is pretty good casting.
It's Seth Rogen as Pumbaa,
Yeah, and
and who,
uh, Billy Eichner as
yeah, the,
as
Timon,
Timon.
which
Yeah,
is good casting there.
good casting there.
Yeah,
I think I liked about the most recent teaser trailer or teaser posters where they had the character posters is people coming to the realization that Pumbaa is spelled with two A's at the end. Uh,
because I've always seen it spelled one. So
yeah, it's never been one.
yeah,
It's never been one. Like it's like the Berenstain
it's
and
the Mandela
Bears.
effect.
Yeah, it's like this. Like no, it was always Berenstain. It was always two A's for Pumbaa. Go back and look at the cartoon that was on. It was Timon and Pumbaa with two A's.
What's funny is I think didn't Ernie Sabella and Nathan Lane going to do like Mouse Hunt or something like that? Like, weren't they
Oh,
like tied joint the hit for projects for a while?
I remember Mouse Hunt. I don't know. I couldn't tell you about any of the other stuff.
But yeah, they had them do stuff together for a while.
Yeah,
Not Disney, but just like, oh, you guys are fun together.
yeah. So they find this cub in the middle of the desert, dying. Um, they don't. At first, he doesn't know it's a cub, and then they move the paw, and he recognizes that it's a lion. Which is, I don't know. That's funny to me. It's like you couldn't tell it was a lion until you moved the hand out of the way. Like,
Yeah,
what else was that? Like,
it's Puma scares off buzzards from
yeah.
eating it. Yeah,
So they realize it's like if we just befriend this guy, nobody's gonna mess with us.
yeah, like he's gonna get bigger.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, so they buddy up and they learn about Hakuna Matata. They teach him Hakuna Matata.
So this is the song for the movie, right? I mean,
I mean, like, Circle of Life and Can You Feel the Love Tonight are sort of the anthems of the movie, like the
Yeah.
actual like radio play songs. But
Right.
Hakuna Matata is the song of the
Yeah.
movie. Like it has lasting appeal, and people just use Hakuna Matata as a thing. Like even just
Uh,
the words Hakuna Matata means something in pop culture, day to day life. So
Around the time this movie came out, George Foreman was going through his comeback in boxing,
yeah,
and once he won the world title, his first title defense, he came out to Hakuna Matata as an entrance song.
I mean, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's our problem-free
philosophy.
philosophy. Hakuna Matata, actually meaning no worries in Swahili. So
Yeah,
it's not like it's a made up. like
yeah. They didn't just make it up.
yeah.
But
So
boy, do they slap it on some T-shirts.
boy, and beyond.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, they're teaching him the ways of the Force.
Yeah.
They're learning you got to eat bugs. You got to just live a casual, no worries life. Just a couple of hippies out in the jungle. Just
How many bugs does Simba have to eat as he gets bigger?
yeah, it's
Like he's a like
yeah,
400-pound carnivore, maybe more than that.
yeah. It's
Like,
Pumbaa is going to be very small soon.
yeah,
Like he's not going to have the carbs and the protein that he needs from because Simba's eaten it all.
yeah.
That's another thing. Like Lion King, in terms of how much it's like you go into like the Disney parks, you get like it's gummy bugs or something.
Yeah.
On the package. Like boy, yeah, they really lean into. But Lion King is just one of those things where it's just perfectly marketable.
Oh
Every
yeah.
aspect of it from every angle.
Or as I showed you yesterday, a little golden book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't buy it. Probably should have.
Yeah. Um, every movie had a little golden book.
Yeah.
I was at half price recently because my mom wanted to get some little children's books for a little baby family member.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was going through all of them, and of course, me. It's like, well, why don't you get the little golden books? Look, they've got Lion King. Here's Cinderella. Here's Snow White. Here's Peter Pan. Here's Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Kids got to learn about the
Yeah,
floating pervert ghost eventually.
yeah. So, I like how I can read in your brain. Like, oh, I started this joke. How do I?
How's a good way? I needed to figure a way.
Like, oh, I'm committed to it. How do I? How do I land this?
we can't have bleeps 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I've already. Yeah. So yeah. So there you go. This also Hakuna Matata counts also as the time jump.
Yes.
It shows him aging fast, so you don't have to actually watch him grow up.
It's a montage, baby.
It's a montage. It is a Rocky in the Siberian wilderness training in the snow.
My wife pointed out last night that the Scar and Simba fight at the end is very Rocky IV-ish.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now we've done our time jump, and Simba is now Matthew Broderick.
Yep.
And he has to save Timon and Pumbaa because they find there's a lion trying to kill them. A lioness. And this is where you find out it is Nala.
Laura Kelly.
Yes.
Who sounds nothing like her younger counterpart.
No. And I don't believe for 1 minute that Jonathan Taylor Thomas grows up to be Matthew Broderick.
No. JTT is not Ferris Bueller, sir.
Yeah. It's like in that How I Met Your Mother. It's like, you're telling me Ted Mosby grows up to be Bob Saget?
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. Like I could buy River Phoenix as young Harrison Ford. Okay, sure. But
Yeah. So, yeah, they reunite, and it's a wonderful. They fall in love like instantly,
yeah,
as the other big song from this, "Can't Wait for the
yes.
Love Tonight"
Uh,
plays. I do like the way it
what?
starts off with like Timon doing like a snarky version of it,
Yeah,
and then it eventually morphs into the actual song.
yeah. I like it. Like when I was a kid, I was watching. I watched this when I didn't really process it till I like watch it with adults,
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, now it's giving him the bedroom eyes. Like what?
yeah,
Like watch. Like oh yeah, she totally
yeah.
is.
She is. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's definitely saying I'm open for business with you.
Yes.
So,
Like
uh,
I'm in heat, sir.
yeah, there is one male and it's Scar, and I'm not having any of it. So,
Yeah.
um, uh, so yeah, she's explaining to him that the Pride and the Pride lands have just fallen to complete disrepair after he left because Scar has taken over, and it's been struck. Basically, it's been struck with a drought.
Right.
There's no, the food's gone, the water's gone. It's a hellhole. You know, there's no
Yeah.
easy way to put it. Um,
They've like they're just eating whatever they had, whatever left of the herds they had. They ate them all.
yeah,
You get
uh,
Srabi explain that to Scar later on. Yeah.
yeah, and then uh, but like he is still like grief stricken about like killing his father, and so he storms off. Where then he runs into Rafiki again. Uh,
Yep.
my dad's favorite character in this movie.
Rafiki's great.
Rafiki rules, and my dad will constantly quote the "Why does it matter? It's in the past."
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Who's
he,
the voice of Rafiki? God, what is his name?
uh, I know names constantly escape me, even if it's somebody that I really really love. I'll be
He's
like,
Benson. Who is
Ben,
that?
yeah, no, it's Benson. It's
Like
you
a
kill me.
Robert Guillaume?
Uh, Robert, yeah,
Yeah, Robert Guillaume.
yep,
Robert Guillaume.
Benson.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just yeah, absolutely just killing it as
Yeah.
um basically Yoda. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah.
it's the Yoda from Empire Strikes Back. Just
Right into whacking with the stick.
yeah, like just
Yeah.
being a troublemaker, but with a purpose. Like he's being a
Mm-hmm.
troublemaker to teach Simba a lesson, which is what
And also
Yoda.
not telling him the whole
Yeah,
truth about his fathers.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Like you could very easily have just, you know, caused this to move him forward much much faster, but for whatever reason refuse to because you know the truth.
Yeah. Go look in the water, I
Yeah.
guess.
Now, now I need you to go into this tree.
Yeah. Mm.
start stealing stuff from Simba.
From Simba's bed kit.
Yeah,
You steal his breadsticks and whatever the hell else was in there.
yeah. Flashlight.
Were those breadsticks? I can't even figure out what they were. Like,
Problem. I mean, space breadsticks.
it's space food.
Yeah, it's space food sticks. um, but yeah, it eventually it's just Rafiki talking in riddles to let him know that no, Mufasa's not. He's dead, but he's not gone.
Right.
He lives on. You remember the story he told you, right? They're looking after you.
The Great Kings.
He did a whole thing about it. You were there. I saw it. You were there.
And then he buries Simba in some dirt.
Yeah.
And makes him drink the
Yeah.
the leaf.
Yeah.
With the power of the Black Panther.
Yeah. So yeah. So Simba. This is where he gets. This scene also like is part like this whole nighttime scene is one of those Disney like when he plops down into the ground It makes the debris go into the air. You could see the word sex appear
Yeah,
in the leaves, and you're like, yeah,
it's like
okay. I can also make,
okay,
yeah. It's not a magic eye drawing. It's just
yeah.
dirt.
It's
Um,
also like, what does it say about you that you're purposely looking for the word sex?
yeah, where it's
Like,
just like,
it's a word, and it
yeah,
means a couple different things.
yeah. It's like, all right, this Rorschach test says more about you than it does about the movie. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
um, so this is where he's visited by James Earl Jones in the night sky with the wonderful
Bleeding
effect
Gums
of,
Murphy.
yeah, Bleeding Gums Murphy comes to him and he tells him. Then they do a wonderful version of Jazz Man together.
Yes, man.
Uh, uh, but it's like, yo, dog, you need to be king.
Yeah.
It's your birthright. Like, do it. You got to save the Pride Land. Um, so now we're met with the sneaking mission.
Yeah.
That Simba is now Metal Gear Simba,
Yeah.
sneaking back. Yeah, he has to sneak past the hyenas, um, and uh, confronts Scar during all
Right.
this.
Who's got Zazu locked up and bones?
Yeah, and like a rib cage of some sort of
And
some non-existent creature. Like he just made a cage out of rib cage,
yeah.
like out of ribs. It's a
It,
good look though. It's a good
it's
look
good, like,
though. But, yeah,
yeah. It's got
and
Zazu singing I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts, which is kind of funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but Scar is like taunting Simba,
Yeah.
which is always a good move for a villain to taunt,
Yeah. Yeah.
and also to reveal your plan.
Yeah. You're younger, stronger,
Yeah,
challenger. Let's just
yeah,
come on. I'm just
younger,
gonna jab
stronger.
at him.
Yeah, younger, stronger, more motivated.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that like your people don't have food, and really neither do you. So
Yeah.
you're also hungry.
Yeah. I mean, at least he's been eating like hundreds of pounds of bugs a day or whatever the heck he's eating.
Yeah. Um, so this is where Scar makes the big revelation that, oh, I killed your dad, and I'm gonna kill you too.
Yeah.
We're at the same place where uh, he died. So,
Yeah.
but
At first, Simba admits it.
yeah, yeah. Um, but now Simba's furious and just immediately
Yeah.
just goes for a shoulder roll into Scar, and tackles him and pins him
Yeah.
down to
Yeah.
the tree, uh, um,
Yeah.
and forces him to tell the truth. But it doesn't, like, he's confident. Scar is still confident that nothing's going to come of this, which is arrogant enough.
I like this. Like, yes, Your Majesty.
um, I do like he tries to blame the hyenas, which is,
Yeah.
of course he would. Of course he would
Yeah.
blame the hyenas.
And
Um,
they happen to hear.
yeah, and Sim's like, all right, I won't kill you, but they might. Uh, and so
Yeah.
Scar getting surrounded by hyenas. Another grisly
Well,
end for a
before that,
Disney
though,
villain.
yeah, I do want to talk about the sweet monkey flip. The Scar takes a great bump into the hyena pit, dude.
Yeah, he does. He does. Like, yeah,
It's like, um,
just like, yeah, just some real backyard wrestling.
yeah. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man.
And he lands into a bunch of light tubes, and
Yeah,
there's some hyenas down there.
yeah, there's C4 down there to go off when he gets down there.
Yep.
Yeah, again, um, another just grisly death for a villain.
Yeah, there's no like, oh, maybe he made it out. No, you
No.
see the silhouette of him getting torn apart by the hyenas.
Yeah. Disney villains tend to go in like grisly ways a lot of
Yeah.
times. Like, so yeah, I mean that's basically the end of the movie. It starts raining. Simba standing on top of Pride Rock, giving a big old roar. Uh, uh, Nala being like his queen, and late title card, The Lion King.
Yep. We get the movie. We get the beginning of the movie again.
Yeah. Yep.
Where you see there has a knowledge cub who's clearly a male lion, but that'll come up later.
Yeah. But I like the way the credits were laid out in this one because it was interesting. Because each character, like main character, has like who does the voice and like the team involved in working on the character. Like it has like designer and visual layouts and like animators and stuff. It's like a really interesting, cool way of like giving credit to not just this person worked on the movie, but this person specifically worked on this character. Because that's really how a lot of this stuff works. Like you're assigned a character, and it's your job to work on this character. Yeah, I was like, you don't really see that in animation. It's usually just all for one kind of thing. So it's just like
we all did it.
List. Or in some cases, video games, you left during production, so they cut you out of the credits.
Do you know what one of the cool things about this movie, as far as casting the voice actors goes, is Mufasa and Sarabi?
Yeah, Sarabi.
Because James Earl Jones and Madge Sinclair, who voiced Sarabi, were the king and queen in Coming to America as well.
They were.
That's kind of like a cool little
Yeah, that can't just that had to.
No, that's
100%. Like once they got James Earl Jones, they're like, well, why not make Sarabi
like the queen, like his wife from Coming to America?
Yeah, I mean it was a big movie, so why not?
Yeah, they both play African kings, so it's whatever.
This movie started its life back in 1988. Again, a very funny thing about this movie is that they were also trying to put like a Jungle Emperor Leo movie out at around the same time as this movie coming out, and like Disney was like suing to stop a Western release of it, which is just like, come on, like they're gonna get confused. They're gonna think that our movie is that their movie is our movie. And it's like, well, your movie is their movie too, so it's circular. Like, just let it happen.
That's like, our name too.
And like their movie started its production before like in '87 or something. So yeah, it really like the really heart of it was like wasn't so much we got to do Hamlet. It's like we need a story set in Africa.
Right.
Which all right. It makes sense to like pitch a movie that way. Like a story set in Africa. What can we do with Africa?
Since this is 1988, they're like, can we get Toto to do the soundtrack?
Yeah. It's like, I'm just picturing. It's like, I think Billy Joel was probably still open for.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
No.
But yeah. So yeah, it was just one of those things that just started so long before it came out that like that's why there's also a lot of that King of the Jungles, Kimba stuff, because
right.
They were also working on it again at the height of Tezuka mania in Japan. So.
Right. Again, while this dude was living in Japan.
This guy, a guy who ended up being director, was living in Japan.
But was influenced by Japanese culture at all.
Yes. In case you're curious, the original director slated for this movie was the Oliver and Company director.
Wow. That's a dodge a bullet there, did they?
Yeah. Well, but, he ended up being the lead story man of Beauty and the Beast instead while they were working.
So he redeemed himself.
So he redeemed himself. It's like, no, I think I'm not going to do another singing animal movie. I'm going to do the singing candlestick movie. It was a George Scribner, I think it is.
Scrivener.
You see names and it's like, oh, I've only ever read that.
Yeah, I've never heard it.
I never heard anyone say his name before. Uh, uh, they actually went to Kenya to scope out Hell's Gate in particular, to scope out like location, like get a good lay of the land, like how they would want to frame.
You could tell that they did their
Yeah,
research.
yeah. Um, but Scribner left the project because they were just they wanted it. Was it Scribner wanted it to be more reality based
Mm-hmm.
and not a musical, and that was not going to happen. It
It's
just wasn't going to happen.
so we made that movie. It's called Bambi.
Yeah, yeah. Like the actual was like documentary like film focused on natural aspects, which sounds just like a miserable cartoon.
Yeah,
Like if
it's
I could just watch one of the Disney True Life Adventures, if that's the case.
right.
Like this is a cartoon in the peak of Disney's biggest hits in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
Have been rousing musical hits.
it's like we
So
got to sell lunchboxes and backpacks, man. We got to have music in there.
yeah, yeah. Um, so, so um, that's where you get that nonsense. But yeah, Lion King, like I said, was pitched as an original story, but even back then, they were saying that it's Hamlet and also biblical. They drew
Yeah.
inspiration from Joseph and Moses
Yep.
for this, which absolutely um, you definitely see that. Um, I don't know. It seems so weird that like for something that is like it's an original story and it's like yeah, it's not adapted directly from any source in particular, but I feel like that's such a weird, lofty thing
Right.
to say. Like,
Like you clearly have influence.
yeah, yeah, and I'm like, but like at the same time, it's um, like you don't have to say anything. Like, people don't necessarily think of Disney as um, adapters. They just think of Disney as Disney. They just take these stories that we all know, and there we are.
And Disneyfy them. Yeah.
Yeah, Disney fine because it's like the Rescuers. Yeah, it's an adaptation of a thing, but nobody knows that other thing.
No.
Um, like, and Disney sort of became synonymous with it, and Disney becomes synonymous with a lot of things. I think they call it like mental real estate. Like they don't own mermaids, but good luck not thinking of Ariel when somebody mentions mermaids.
Right. Yeah.
It's you see, it, animals in a cartoon, and it's you got to think of Disney, no matter what, whether this was adapted from, whether you said this is Hamlet or said, because this is just as much Hamlet as any of their other adaptations are their original stories. Like this is just as much Hamlet as their Sleeping Beauty is Sleeping Beauty. Whereas to say
Right.
only kind of like
Yeah.
you took Sleeping Beauty and made your own thing out of it. You took Snow White. You took Cinderella. You took so many Alice in Wonderland even, or something like you took so many things and you made it your own. It doesn't really follow plot elements too much.
You
Like
took the framework.
Wind in the Willows or whatever, like things like that. Like, you took the framework and you did the same thing here. I mean, this is very much Hamlet. You took the basic concept of Hamlet, and I feel like you could have just sold it as that, but I don't know if it was an ego thing at the time or what, but they didn't, and they just went, "This is our first original story." And I mean, like most of your stories are original. It's just because you don't follow the source material.
Yeah.
Even their Marvel movies are, none of us follow the source material. It's just
No.
they just happen to have characters.
Yeah.
From,
I mean, like Infinity War and Endgame, they're kind of like the Infinity Gauntlet, but
yeah, so
not really.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's weird. It's weird that they just went that route, but whatever. It didn't really. It's not like it would have affected anything. This movie was going to be
No,
a
it's
hit
like
regardless because
if that's the pride rock you want to die on, so be
yeah,
it.
yeah. Um, uh, so yeah, this movie was also made side by side with Pocahontas. So the movie that's next week was
Right.
being made the same time as Lion King.
Huh.
So you could tell which one had the
Got
age.
priority.
Even so much in like the animation is weaker in Pocahontas. I'm not saying that Pocahontas is bad,
No, it's beautifully animated.
but like Lion King is just so much. It's like just so much more. Um, but uh, here's a good quote, and I'm just going to read it verbatim because it's interesting. The Lion King was considered a little movie because we were going to take some risks. The pitch for the story was a lion cub gets framed for murder by his uncle, set to the music of Elton John, and people said, "What? Good luck with that." But for some reason, the people who ended up on the movie were highly passionate about it and motivated. So
Yeah,
that is a weird pitch to say. It's
but it worked, man.
the fugitive set to Elton John. Uh,
So, when did they sign on Elton John and Tim Rice? When did that?
let's see exactly. I think very, very early on. Because Tim Rice was already with them
Right.
because he was working on Aladdin with Menken.
They were on. This is where they kind of went on a string of like, we're gonna have a British pop singers do the soundtrack.
The Billy Joel thing didn't work, so let's try
Yeah.
different. Go at it from a different angle.
So, which one? Sting did. Which one did Sting do?
No, he was going to do uh, Emperor's New Groove.
Right.
That never came to fruition, and that's a whole episode on its own.
Yeah.
Um,
And then they got Satan to do Tarzan. So
uh, yes, exactly. So yeah, no, Tim Rice probably was on day one, probably like when they actually started committing because he was already on Aladdin.
right.
Where he was making on Aladdin. Um, Menken wasn't available for Lion King. So Tim Rice is the one that suggested Elton John. Uh, although, would would you like to know who Tim Rice originally suggested?
Was it Phil Collins?
No, was not Phil
Okay.
Collins. ABBA.
What?
Yeah, Tim Rice actually put an invitation out to ABBA. Yeah, but
I'm glad that Disney did not take a chance on them.
they're the ones that said, "We can't. We're busy right now doing whatever their musical was at the time." Christina from Dumala. Um, I don't speak that language, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of umlauts and accents that I don't understand. What words I'm supposed to be, what letters I'm supposed to be saying differently.
Can you just make a song about lions set to the tune of Fernando?
Elton John really did like the idea of writing pop songs for kids and adults. Like,
Yeah.
so,
He's kind of he'd kind of gone through a career resurgence here this period too.
at this period of time, I mean, yeah, he was really making his comeback, particularly in America.
Yeah.
And he mentioned the Jungle Book as an influence for this music that he was writing because
Right.
the songs were amusing and kids and adults loved it. So they wrote 5 songs together. Tim Rice and Elton John wrote 5 songs for this movie.
Did he write? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go on. Go on.
Did he write "Be Prepared"?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
It is. It's as the Elton John way. It is co-written. So they wrote John and Rice. It's Circle of Life. I Can't Wait to Be King. Be Prepared. Hakuna Matata. And Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And Elton John's version of the song is the credit song of Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
The big pop hit.
Yeah, and there was another song, The Morning Report, that never made it into the thing. And the score is Hans Zimmer, which is,
Hans
one of
Zimmer is
one of the top, musical composers in film,
it's
right?
like it's like Hans Zimmer, or sorry, it's like John Williams, Hans Zimmer, and then maybe Alan Silvestri in that
Yeah,
order. Would
yeah.
you pick? Is that fair?
Yeah,
Okay.
that seems fair. That
Okay.
seems fair. Um,
Hans
but yeah,
Zimmer, guys, by the way, Batman
Batman.
did the
And it's one of those things like you recognize when oh nope,
oh
Hans Zimmer did this.
yeah, like it sounds like Crimson Tide. It's Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, yeah, you recognize
Okay.
Hans Zimmer immediately. Um, so, uh, and he was hired specifically because he did work on 2 films set in Africa already. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Which
So,
ones were they?
The Power of One and World Apart. So,
Hey, I like the book of Power to One. Never seen the movie, but
yeah.
yeah.
So that's why he gets his thing. Um, and uh, there was a little bit of legal issue because they had the usage of The Lion Sleeps Tonight in the movie, and they never got you know
The
clearance
rights.
really to
Yeah.
use it, so they were sued by the family of Solomon that composed the song. Um, but that was like 2004. So
Wait, they got sued in 2004 or got settled in 2004?
they sued. They filed the lawsuit in 2004.
They just waited 10 years
Like,
or
yeah, that's how this stuff always happens. Like, I never quite understand. Like, I mean, it's like it's not like they're making it up. Like,
right.
this they probably didn't get. Like, it's pretty easy to prove they got permission or not,
Right.
and it's probably easy to see. And but you don't. It's I always assume it's especially when it's Disney or something. It's that uh, if you've come at the king, you better not miss.
Yeah.
So you got to be prepared. Be
Be,
prepared.
yeah. but you also see because Disney like they cover their bases in that sense. Like, okay, we gotta
Yeah, 2 years later they settled.
yeah.
Uh, so, uh, so again, you don't know how much, but they sued for 1.6 million. So I'm going to guess, you know,
Half of that.
half of that, probably maybe 750,000 or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that not too much of a
Yeah.
issue. Obviously,
Yeah, it's clear.
they had bigger controversies with the whole Kimba stuff that they were constantly
Yeah.
dealing with, especially in Japan and when
Yeah.
they're marketing it in Japan.
I mean, it was clearly settled because you hear Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen singing in the trailer for the new movie.
Yeah, exactly. So, I guess let's go into one of our favorite parts where we talk about the legacy of the Lion King.
Okie dokie.
Because I like this part because this one we're in that marketing powerhouse
Yeah.
90s.
Like
Um,
Disney is like they've hit full stride here.
Yeah, and they have. Well, I was looking at the Wikipedia page, and they actually break it down in the Wikipedia page
Holy
of
crap.
like how this stuff works. Um, uh, they had tie-ins with Burger King
Right.
because there was a McDonald's issue they were having at the
Yes,
time.
there was. There was an yeah.
There's a very interesting video that you can watch on YouTube from Defunct Land
Yeah.
right now. About
I love that
history
video. It was
about the
really, really
history.
cool.
It was very informational and is strictly about the history of McDonald's and Disney,
Yeah.
like all the way back to Walt and Kroc meeting each other in World War One, which I had no idea
Yeah, I
was
didn't either.
the thing. So yeah, you had Burger King, you had toys from Mattel, cross promotions with Kodak, Nestle, and Payless shoes. Which I read that and I was like, that's right, there were Payless shoes. Like Lion King things going on.
Oh, that's right. Payless shoes used to be a thing.
Yeah, I was like, boy, they're just now going out of business.
Right.
On top
Like how
of, yeah, like this time, like, boy, they're just now going out of business.
That's like, and yet somewhat like, but we had a friend of ours say, "Hey, there's a Kmart down here where I'm visiting." Like, what?
Wow.
Yeah. No, our
Yeah,
friend Steve
yeah,
told us about the Kmart, and
yeah.
we're like, what?
Wow, really? You gotta go.
You should go there.
Who knows? Who knows what's that Kmart? It's um, but and apparently 186 other licensed products, which I was
Good God.
yeah, this is you were in full gear. This is easily the most marketable movie they've done in the Renaissance era. Like,
Uh, I I remember for our 8th grade graduation, we went to like, I think we went to like Catalina and I got my sister a bunch of Lion King swag because I had money on me because I graduated.
yeah.
So I brought it back and just give her a big bag of like Lion King figurines and stuff.
In 1994, Disney earned about $1 billion on products based on Lion King, with
Jeez.
214 million of that being Lion King toys sold during Christmas of that year.
My God.
So it was kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Like, I know I own some. I know
Oh,
you own some. You
absolutely.
owned probably a lot
I probably owned a lot, and I know
because
I had.
you're probably like that age where it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it's what I'm 10
yeah.
when this movie comes out. Is at
Oh
its
yeah. So
peak.
it's like you're like, I want
Yeah,
a Pumbaa.
yeah. I want a Happy Meal.
I, I mean, I turned 39 last Wednesday, and you saw me at Disneyland debate about Wagon Mufasa, a giant stuffed Mufasa.
Yeah,
You saw me ponder it for like 3 minutes. Like, do I
yeah.
need a big Mufasa?
I don't know how you didn't wind up with the big Mufasa, but
I should have bought the damn Mufasa.
I'm 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 vaguely disappointed, to be honest.
I know. You just want to see me walk around with it.
Yeah, it'd be like when you go to a carnival and win a big giant stuffed bear. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm at the carnival for another hour and a half. This giant bear. I don't know.
I gotta juggle. I gotta juggle this bear and this turkey on a stick.
Yeah. Uh, uh, as is not a surprise, massive success critically when it came out.
Yep.
I think as you look right now on Rotten Tomatoes, it's in the mid 90s on Rotten Tomatoes. And like
I think
eight,
it's 97.
yeah, it's like I can't remember. It's like 93 to 97. It's one of those.
It says it on actually if you go on the Movies Anywhere app, it actually says what the Rotten Tomato score is.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And
I'll look it up right now. Actually.
yeah, Roger Ebert giving it 3.5 stars. It's like, and everyone saw right out of the gate that, oh, it's Hamlet.
Yeah.
But also you also see a lot of, it's no Beauty and the Beast, but it is
No.
it's this is a great movie. And it's the
93.
93, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. That's a little lower than I thought, but
Yeah, Mary Poppins #1 is 100% actually.
Yeah.
On Rotten Tomatoes, so
yeah, Mary Poppins. We did an episode on Mary Poppins, an annex episode on Mary Poppins, and I think we both even said in there, like, we're not ranking this one, but if we did, it would be almost at the top of the list.
Yeah,
the top of the list time, because just how perfect Mary Poppins is. It's just a fun,
practically perfect.
Yeah, practically perfect in every way. Lion King is also one of those things that like didn't stop.
No.
It had. We always talk about, like, did it have sequels? And
yes, it did.
Yes, very much so. You had like an animated series based on Timon and Pumbaa.
Yep.
You had Lion King 2: Simba's Pride, which is a very good title.
Lion King 1.5.
Lion King 1.5, which is like an in-between kind of thing. Like, from their point of view of Lion King 1, like Timon and Pumbaa's point of view from Lion King 1.
Matthew Broderick reprised his role for Lion King 2, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And just a few years ago, there was the Lion Guard.
Right.
Which was the TV series that
Was it Disney
Disney
Toon Disney? I think.
Disney Junior,
Yeah.
whatever the kids rebranding of Disney was at the time. I never saw it. I never saw Lion Guard.
Me either. I didn't
So,
see that.
so I don't know. Um, I don't know if it was good or not. Uh, but I do know that Lion King 2 and Lion King 1.5 weren't good. So I remember enjoying the TV series when it was on, but I was also a kid. I don't remember. I haven't seen it in years. Ernie Sabella was still Pumbaa
Right.
in it, but it was Quentin Flynn uh, was like Timon for most of the series or something.
Right. Uh, I say this a lot, but like Dying Days of Disney Afternoon. But was that series Disney Afternoon, or was it actually on the Disney Channel,
I think it was.
or maybe both?
I think it was because it's '94,
Yeah.
so it was probably threading that needle, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see if there's a way to. Episodes.
Because this has been like Goof Troop era. It actually might have been Disney Afternoon.
Yeah, yeah. I just noticed there's a video game for it, which I totally forgot about. On the Super NES. So
Speaking of video games,
yeah, boy, let's just get right into that, huh? The Lion King video game. Oh, let's see. The show ran for 3 seasons on CBS, the Disney Channel, and Toon Disney.
Okay.
And in syndication as part of the Disney Afternoon.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, yeah, video games.
Yeah.
Video games.
Last week we talked about how different the versions of Aladdin are on the Genesis and Super Nintendo. Not the case here.
Nope. Basically, the only differences you get are specific to hardware differences. Music's different. Some of the visual stuff is a little different, but but the game mechanically are identical.
It probably looks a little bit better on Super Nintendo, honestly.
Yeah. But I also think it was on
Game Gear.
I think also computers and Amiga, I want to say.
I think you're right.
We didn't really have Amiga stuff here. That was like mostly for the European crowd.
Yeah.
Because they were mostly into that.
No,
and there's a Game Boy, and there was a Master System version.
Right.
Game Gear version. All of the sequels got their own games. There's, there was a puzzle game.
Right.
Timon and Pumbaa puzzle game.
As we discuss every week, a Tiger LCD handheld. Also, as we mention every week, it appears in Kingdom Hearts. Yep. Yeah. So the 16-bit game's that's the real cream of the crop as far as I'm.
Yeah. Westwood.
That game's hard, dude.
Yeah.
That game's stupid hard.
But as was those games at the time. I don't know. It's just, I remember one thing because I read old magazines and stuff. One thing that you'll see that people complain about a lot with the Lion King game on computers is that it inexplicably needed like really high specs for computers, which for a child's game made no sense. And everyone's like, why are you requiring these like a high-end PC to run this game for children? That makes no sense. At that point, just don't do it. So people were buying the game and they couldn't run it because it was a high-end video game, which is crazy.
It's like at that point, just buy it for the Genesis.
Yeah. Or the Super Nintendo or whatever. It's genuinely a good game, but
hard.
And it's not. It's one of those things where it's like I don't know if I necessarily want to go back to it. Like it looks good, but like I don't ever feel compulsed to play it again.
Well, here's the thing about it. Like here's what frustrated me as a Genesis owner. There's a move that Simba does where he can flip like you play through Simba's life, like from cub to adult.
Yeah.
There's a move where you can flip hyenas and eventually Scar,
Yeah.
but you need a 6-button controller to do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to like hold like 3 buttons down, and then like it's like, yeah.
Uh, I saw that there's the two of the levels in the game um, were like adapted from like deleted scenes from the movie that never made it into the final production stuff, which is kind of interesting. They do that a
Which
lot
ones?
with video games. The Hakuna Matata level and the Peter
Okay.
Pan levels were scrapped scenes from the movie.
Okay, yeah. That it was eventually a pack-in too for the Genesis, like
Oh yeah,
Aladdin.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think even the Game Gear, like the Game Gear version, was
Yes, it was. You're
back
right.
in.
It was a
Uh,
pack-in.
yeah. So, in case you can't tell, ranking was a big deal.
Big friggin' deal.
Yeah. Um. So, theme parks. Um. Different at the theme parks. Its presence is different than sort of some of the other stuff. Last week we talked about like Aladdin, where it had its presence was it had a stage show,
Yeah.
and Disney World has like a magic carpet ride attraction. There's not like an attraction, but there's a lot of Lion King stuff. Particularly, you go to Disney World's Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom, and there's like, Festival of the Lion King and shows and stuff like that. That's mostly where it comes from. It's mostly shows and parades and things that are heavily inspired by Lion King.
Right.
Mickey's PhilharMagic, we mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
features Just Can't Wait to Be King in it. I just on our last trip, I watched the parade that they have going on right now. It features Lion King in it.
Yeah.
It's always funny because this is sort of the last time too, and you notice it in a couple of years. It becomes a story where this is like parades, sort of, are a big thing at Disneyland, at the theme parks.
Yep.
And stuff.
Every day, basically.
Every day, yeah, sometimes twice a day, depending on what the parade is.
God help you if you need to cross the street.
Yeah, it's been over 60 years, and they still don't quite have the crowd control for parades down yet. So like, as time goes on from here, like I remember the Hercules parade being a big deal.
I can see that.
And what year did Hercules come out? Because I need this.
97, 98.
Because I know when we first started going as a family to Disneyland, it was around that time, 98, 99. But it would have been nice because we were there for the launch of the new Tomorrowland, and we were also there before. So the Hercules parade was still going. But after that, Disney starts, in the parade, starts having less and less of a focus, and Pixar starts having more and more of a focus.
Yeah.
And you're going to see that that's what sets off the chain of events after Michael Eisner of like, I was sitting there watching a parade, like Bob Iger. I was watching a parade, and I was like, all of these characters are Pixar characters, and all of these kids are reacting to the Pixar characters, and that's when I knew that we needed to fix this.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's like even still you see a lot of Buzz and Woody.
Yeah. But Lion King had the Broadway musical that's still to this day a big thing.
I'd like to see it. I need to go see it.
Yeah, I think I just missed the touring version of it or something. Like, yeah, I want to see it, but I just never. I am never motivated to go to Seattle.
Yeah,
and that's my problem, not their problem.
It might be Seattle's problem too.
Yeah. But yeah, just like it's like, oh, they're gonna be doing this show at the Paramount Theater. I'm like, cool. I really don't want to go to Seattle. Like, I go there 2 to 3 times a year, and that's sort of my limit for Seattle.
Seattle is like how LA is to me, basically.
Yeah, it's 100%. It's like I'm not. Like it's just exhausting to exist in Seattle if you don't live there. I'm assuming if you live there, it's just as exhausting, just for different reasons. But
Unless you're Frasier, then you'll love it
yeah,
there.
and you love it because you have a apartment that doesn't exist, but there it is. Nobody has that view of Seattle in Seattle, but
An AM radio show.
an AM radio
We,
show that everyone listens to.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, this movie was such a huge, like, money wise. Do you know what the how much money this movie made?
Not counting merchandise.
Just worldwide, just its worldwide box office.
$3 billion.
Yes, the highest grossing movie of all time. Nobody ever talks about it, but to be fair, you're far less off than you probably think you are.
I know.
$969 million.
So nearly $1 billion.
Near to $1 billion box office on a budget of $45 million. Remember, we weren't talking all that long ago where movies from the 80s were like $33 million.
Yeah.
Like the Black Cauldron was absurdly expensive to make. And it was like, oh, okay then, $33 million. This is $45 million, and it's one of the best movies they've ever made.
Yeah. And they made a profit of like over $900 million.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it cleaned up at everything. Like, go to the Golden Globes. It won for Best Musical or Comedy. Obviously best. There was no Best Animated Feature Academy Awards this time. That doesn't come until the 2000s. But it did win Best Original Score, Best Original Song at the Academy Awards.
Yep.
And same thing for the Golden Globes.
Won some Grammys too, right?
Absolutely won some Grammys.
Yeah.
This soundtrack was a certifiable hit. Like there was no, like, it was probably like album of the year. Like I think more people.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, it's Elton John and Disney with some memorable songs that were pounded into your brain. So.
And this is like right when everybody's starting to get CD players for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, you get this on, it sounds better.
Yeah, it sounds great. Also, 1994 is a very interesting year for movies. We were talking about this the other day, and it's like our episodes are getting longer and longer. It's because we're doing this.
Yeah.
And I just want to make it clear that there's a reason why I'm doing this now, and we're probably going to stop
for these movies.
For these movies, we're going to stop doing it to this extent. But I just sort of want to put these movies because this is when Disney's movies are the biggest they've ever been.
Right.
And it's fun to look at them in context because going forward, we're going to start paring this down a lot more. I'm still going to talk about the year in film, but we're going to focus a little less on going through all the movies that came out that year or whatever. But it's just fun to give it some context of, like, in this case, Lion King, #1 movie of the year. And it's fun to see, like, this made the most money. What else came out this year? What were the top grossers? So we're going forward. We're going to still do the top 10 grossers and maybe the awards and stuff, but not so much the breaking down like all of the movies that came out that year.
This is kind of where it peaks.
This is the peak. It's not going to get any better for a long time after this.
Yeah.
It's actually going to get much, much worse.
Yeah.
And we'll get into some of that because coming up very soon, you're going to have
much worse.
much worse, and you're also going to have new competitors. Or even in the sense of, I mean, next year is where you have the new hotness coming out. Yeah. You have Toy Story just around the corner at this point. Like, Toy Story is their next big movie.
Just around the river band.
just literally, with Pocahontas being next month, or next week. Toy Story's at the same time as Pocahontas, like same year. So, and it shows that there's a sea change occurring.
Insert the Smash Brothers, a new challenger has appeared, and the silhouette of Shrek.
Yeah, because we're on the eve of the Katzenberg fallout, and once DreamWorks starts up, things start getting dirty, and Disney the animation studio starts really dropping.
Mhm.
So we'll focus more on that than just what else existed at the time. But I think it's just fun for these particular movies, the Renaissance era. Like, we'll probably scale it down next week, and then it's just going to get, by the time you get to Tarzan at the end of the Renaissance era, it'll be like, okay, we're done with this. But now we're just
Yeah, this is mostly we're doing the Holy Trilogy, the Holy Trinity here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we just said Lion King, #1 movie of the year, 1994. Number 2, Forrest Gump.
I was gonna say Forrest Gump was that here, yeah.
Number 3. Any guess?
Braveheart?
No, that's not even in the top 10. I don't even know if Braveheart came out.
I don't know. Shawshank?
Nope. True Lies.
Huh.
Yeah, True Lies. I mean, it's James Cameron. So
it's not, True Lies is an okay movie.
It's I don't think it's like you see it top 3 and you're like, that might be too much for True Lies, but given the time period, like action movies
what it is.
Action movies are coming back in a big way. Another movie on this list really hammers that point home, but we'll get that in a second. Number 4, The Mask.
Okay.
Not Masks featuring Cher and Rocky Dennis, but The Mask, the Jim Carrey.
The green one.
Yeah. Number 5, Speed.
Okay.
See, like action movies are coming into their own again in the mid-90s. So
it's weird thinking about like that dude because we saw him today.
Yeah.
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 It's weird.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll always Keanu Reeves will always have a soft spot.
Plucky young Keanu did Speed.
Hungry Keanu in 1994. Number 6, a very personal movie for you, Nick.
1984 for me.
Yeah.
What came out in 94?
You could have gone to see The Lion King, but instead.
Oh God! Are you kidding me? The Flintstones number 6.
The Flintstones is number 6.
I would have guessed like Pulp Fiction or Dumb and Dumber or something.
Well, Dumb and Dumber, number 7.
Okay, there you go.
Number 8, 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Okay.
Number 9, Interview with the Vampire.
Look with your vampire eyes.
And number 10, rounding it out, another one of the wonderful Tom Clancy adaptions, Clear and Present Danger.
Good movie.
Great movie. So that's your top 10 highest grossing movies worldwide of 2004, 1994.
Yeah. This is also like peak Jim Carrey too, technically. Well,
yeah.
Because this is right after Ace Ventura.
Yeah. You got Dumb and Dumber and The Mask in the same year. Yeah. Why not? And obviously Forrest Gump was the
Oscar winner that year.
Yeah, the award darling. Unless you were at the BAFTAs and it was 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Those Brits.
Yeah, they love some Hugh Grant over there.
Those cheeky Nandos.
What kind of fun movies came out in 1994? A lot. There's a lot.
Pulp Fiction, like I mentioned.
We're gonna. When I start this list, I start in January and just make my way through December.
Cool.
The Air Up There.
What? That's like when basketball was big.
Yeah. Cabin Boy.
Boy, that
trying to make Chris Elliott a thing.
Sure. We got Dave Letterman to do it. Okay.
Let's see. House Party 3.
Why are there 3 of them?
Why were there 3 of them? Kid and Play. Back in action again. Let's see. Blank. Car 54. Where are you?
They made a movie of that?
Oh yeah, I remember it very well.
No.
I don't know why. I don't even remember who was in it. David Johansen, John C. McGinley. Fran Drescher, Nipsey Russell, Jeremy Piven. Oh boy,
Oh,
Rosie O'Donnell,
yikes!
uh, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Great move. Oh wow! So he had all three of them the same year
It's funny that that's the one that didn't make it in the top 10. Like Dumb and
because
Dumber,
that's the
like
best of the
Ace
three.
Ventura. Between Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, and Ace Ventura, it should be Ace Ventura.
That's easily the best of the three.
Yeah. Blank Check.
Yeah, there we go.
Now we're talking. I absolutely saw Blank Check in theaters.
I saw it on VHS, but I saw it.
Yeah, I
It's a,
love.
the
That's
premise is great.
premise is great. It's good. You know how they always do that stuff where it's like, oh, it's a male power fantasy where you're just like powerful and
Yeah,
like it is a kid power fantasy, but
yeah.
it's like I get all kinds of money and I can just do whatever I want with it. I'm gonna own
Mr.
an
Macintosh.
featuring I remember Tone Loc.
Yeah, sure do.
Yeah.
Who is also an Ace Ventura, by the way.
Yes. My Girl 2. Starring Dan Aykroyd and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Did Macaulay Culkin come back from the dead, or
Who knows? Blue Chips.
another basketball movie with Shaq?
Nick Nolte and Shaq. Reality Bites. All right. 8 Seconds, the bull riding movie starring Luke Perry.
Oh gosh, yeah. No,
Following it. The Hudsucker Proxy. I love the Hudsucker Proxy.
The forgotten Coen Brothers film.
Yes, the Hudsucker Proxy is like it's subdued Coen Brothers, but it's still super weird, and every character in it is either an idiot or insane.
Yeah,
and it's great, and it's literally just about a guy that invents the hula hoop.
yeah.
That's for kids.
Yeah. Paul Newman's in that movie, which one of my favorite actors ever. So yeah.
Tim Robbins, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Paul Newman. I highly recommend the Hudsucker Proxy. I think it's fantastic. The Ref, a very rare Dennis Leary starring movie.
Okay.
The era of let's give kids an animal movie is in full swing with Monkey Trouble.
Oh God.
Naked Gun, 33 1/3.
They probably should have hung it up by then.
Yeah. Another basketball movie of Above the Rim.
That's the one with Tupac in it.
That's the one with Tupac and Bernie Mac.
Yep.
D2, The Mighty Ducks.
Okay.
Jimmy Hollywood, Joe Pesci featured role.
They gotta stop doing that.
They did relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Major League 2.
Oh, that's the one where we can't get Wesley Snipes, so we got Omar Epps to play Willie Mays Hayes.
Exactly. Another big animated film, but a Don Bluth film, but this is Don Bluth on his sort of downward slide of Thumbelina.
Okay.
So
I don't think I've ever seen Thumbelina.
Yeah, it's not good. It's got Gilbert Gottfried in it too. Which,
good. Who we love.
Clifford, the Martin Short led movie.
Oh my God! This is a point of contention between me and my wife. She loves that movie, and I hate it. I hate it so much.
It's not good. I don't know. No, it's not good.
I want you to speak directly in the microphone and tell my wife that movie's not good.
Clifford is not good. Period. End of discussion.
Rita, the movie's bad. I'm sorry, babe.
Serial Mom came out this year. Chevy Chase on his perpetual downslope with Cops and Robertsons.
Oh God, with him and Jack Palance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. White Fang 2, sure. Why do I remember Brain Scan? What was it was that Eddie Furlong movie. Like, why do I recognize that name? It's just a Eddie Furlong horror movie with a soundtrack by George Clinton.
Okay.
Not George S. Clinton of the critically acclaimed George Clinton band.
Yes.
Also known for the soundtracks for Mortal Kombat. So,
Oh, not the funky George Clinton.
not George Clinton.
Oh,
But
it's like this is a good year for him. He was also in NBA Jam as a playable character.
no, different George Clinton. He did the Austin Powers movies and the
Oh,
Mortal
okay.
Kombat ones. So that's what you get there. Yeah. So let's see. PCU. Okay, I remember that one. Three Ninjas Kick Back.
Oh no,
The Crow. Uh,
that's a good movie. It's
Good
tough
movie.
to watch because you know what happened.
You know what happens. You know that this movie ends Brandon Lee's career, and also it's also
His
hard to watch.
life.
Yeah, that was. I was trying to be,
I stepped over your joke.
but because I was going to lead into it, just like how it was also the end of Ernie Hudson's career, kind of.
No, he came back and did The Principal. No, The Substitute. Sorry, The Substitute.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maverick. Yeah, okay.
I love Maverick.
Maverick came out that year. Richard Donner, always a good.
Yeah.
Like Maverick is is weird because it doesn't seem like it should be, but it is funny.
It's generally good. Like watching Jodie Foster go for a comedic. Yeah, that's great.
Unlike the next movie that came out the next week of Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yikes. He had dreads in that movie, I think.
Only two movies came out on the same day: The Flintstones and Little Buddha. You remember Little Buddha?
Nope.
It also features Keanu Reeves.
You know what? I do know a movie that came out here coming up that you're going to mention because I've never seen the poster for it when I went to see the Flintstones.
Oh yeah.
That movie is called Getting Even with Dad.
Yep.
Which my father almost made me go see instead of the Flintstones.
Renaissance Man. That's a Danny DeVito one, isn't it? Yes, it is.
It's not a bad movie.
It's a Penny Marshall movie. You know, she did good stuff.
Yeah, it is. She sure did.
City Slickers 2, The Legend of Curly's Gold.
Yikes.
Opened the same day as Speed.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people went to City Slickers 2 over like Speed because City Slickers 1 was so good.
Yeah.
And then
it's like we killed off Curly.
Yeah.
We brought it back as its own twin.
Lion King opens the very next week and destroys everything. Getting Even with Dad opens just a couple of days after The Lion King. Macaulay Culkin and Ted Danson.
Boy, wow.
And Wolf. I don't remember Wolf with Jack Nicholson.
I actually kind of like Wolf.
It's good. Wolf's good. Yeah. It's just like a weird, like, horror movie with Jack Nicholson.
It's kind of like a weird, erotic Wolfman movie.
Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of cool. I forget who directed it. It's. I don't think he ever like.
Oh God, who's in that movie? It's Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer, and
James Spader.
James Spader, who plays he's hella creepy in that movie.
And Christopher Plummer.
Yes.
Christopher Plummer, who just looks like he belongs in every he should be in a Wolfman movie.
Yeah.
Wyatt Earp.
The less good of the Wyatt Earp movies.
Yeah. Little Big League. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Now we're talking.
King Griffey Jr. is in that one, right?
Is he? Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen Little Big League, but I just have fond memories of Little Big League.
Yeah.
Dennis Farina is in it.
Yeah, he sure is.
Baby's Day Out.
Another terrible movie my dad likes. Happy Father's Day, Dad, coming up in a week. You have god awful taste in movies.
Yeah, every time you tell me anything, I forget what it was last week that made me laugh that your dad was a big fan of.
The Friday movies and
Yeah, but
Bebe's Kids.
Bebe's Kids, that was it. It was Bebe's Kids.
Yeah,
Oh, The Shadow. The Shadow came out this year.
literally a scene where they talk about ties for 5 minutes.
Alec Baldwin in a superhero movie before that was really a thing.
Based
Like,
on this is like based off like the radio drama and the pulp comics.
yeah,
And it's like they're also like, hey, let's have let's also do the Phantom as well.
yeah. We mentioned it once already because it was the Academy Award winner of everything, but I do genuinely love Forrest Gump.
It's a
Uh,
great movie.
I love Forrest Gump. I also
It is
love Angels in the Outfield, which also opened this year.
yeah, that's a man. That movie's it's kind of a bummer at points.
Yeah, it's a very sad movie because the whole premise is reliant on
Tony Danza has cancer,
yeah, we'll see each other again when the Angels win the pennant, and it's like,
which they did like 10 years later, I think.
yeah, yeah.
That also very very young Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that movie.
Very young Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yep. The Client. Okay. Dragon World. Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
That was straight to video Full Moon Entertainment film, which that only means something to like me.
Full Moon, guys, for you don't know, they also did the Puppet Master films.
Yeah.
And Castle Freak.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're wondering, which Puppet Master movies? The answer is yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like to this day, I think they just released one like 2 months ago.
What was their vampire movie? It's called
Oh, jeez.
Night something.
Subspecies.
Oh yeah, Subspecies. Yes, that was it.
Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah,
I remember Castle Freak and Puppet Master. Yeah.
What Subspecies and Trancers were like?
Okay, yeah, they did do Trancers.
Yeah, and they did like other weird Pit in the Pendulum and Prehysteria, which I don't know. Like they are very much puppet people. That's everything is. Yeah, it's very like cheesy. Like Ginger Dead Man was another thing that they did. Like Puppet Master.
Low budget horror, guys.
Yeah.
Low, like Showtime at 1:00 in the morning horror.
About this, where they made a fantasy adventure dragon movie in 1994.
Yeah.
The Lassie reboot was in theaters that year.
Oh, that's the starring the kid from Sandlot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie entirely until I was looking at this list earlier. I was like, oh yeah, Lassie, they did that. I'm surprised they haven't. I'm surprised they haven't done it again. Like, it feels like, Lassie is just gone.
Yeah, they just tried to make like Benji on Netflix, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think they tried. I think they did.
Well, they tried. That's the thing.
Airheads came out this year. Brendan Fraser trying to make his way into Hollywood.
Making his way downtown.
The Little Rascals, again, another.
Yikes.
Oh yeah, this is the Pauly Shore era, also in the army now.
Well, and last week was Encino Man, right?
I think so. I think he said it was Encino Man or something similar.
I think Son-in-Law is maybe his best Pauly Shore standalone.
Blank Man came out this year.
J5! I like Blank Man. I don't care.
Color of Night. Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Oh my God, that's the erotic thriller with Bruce Willis in it.
Yeah. Yes.
Good. Thought that was a great idea.
Richard Rush thought that was a movie he was going to direct.
Hey, you guys want to see naked Bruce Willis? Too damn bad.
No? Well, here it is.
Yeah.
Camp Nowhere.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Natural Born Killers.
Woody Harrelson and
very controversial movie for its era.
Robert Downey Jr. is in that movie too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Woody Harrelson, Juliette Lewis, Tommy Lee Jones, Robert Downey Jr., Tom Sizemore, Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Police Academy, Mission to Moscow.
Oh my god. Why were they still making Police Academy movies in 1994?
Uh, a very sad movie to have to mention after Police Academy 4 is also John Candy's last film, Wagons East.
Wagons East, it's him and Richard Lewis, I think.
Richard Lewis, yep.
Yeah.
Jonathan McGinley also in every movie in the 90s. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. The Next Karate Kid.
Oh my gosh, with future Academy Award winner.
Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
Hilary Swank, Pat Morita, and Michael Ironside.
Yeah. Yeah. Last Pratt Morita Karate Kid movie, too.
Yeah. Time Cop.
Hell yeah.
Now we're talking.
I friggin' love Time Cop.
How can you not? Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Based off a Marvel or DC comic?
I think it was one of
Or
the.
was it Image?
I think it was a different brand. It wasn't.
Might have been Image.
Yeah, but I also think it was it was Dark Horse.
Oh, okay, you're right. It was Dark Horse.
I feel like I can picture the Rook logo in the corner of Time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, like that movie. Like that's big when hey Van Damme could do some splits. Let's have him do the splits.
Yeah, and an era was born. Immediately after Time Cop, the very next week, Shawshank Redemption opened in theaters.
Dude, I will watch that movie anytime it's on TV.
I think that's key. That was like key to its success too. It was like a good movie when it came out, but as you saw when we were talking about it, it wasn't like an Academy Award sweetheart.
No,
and it wasn't a big money maker, but like it was like one of those first big like cable movies.
TNT, TBS.
These kind of movies. And I think that's been a key to its success and why it's on the AFI 100 list or whatever, because it's just like it permeated the movie culture in a way that most movies didn't.
Right.
I mean, and it's a great movie. It's
Andy Dufresne.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic movie. It opened. It opened the same day as Terminal Velocity.
I would argue Shawshank's probably the best Stephen King adaptation.
Yeah, like most, fully featured, well-rounded adaptation.
Green Mile is good, but
I think Shawshank edges it out.
Yep.
Ed Wood came out this year.
That's a good movie.
I like Ed Wood. It's one of those things where it's kind of like the disaster artist, where you have to explain to people like, no, this is mostly,
he's a guy.
No, this is mostly true. This is like he's a real person. This is a real person who made these very weird things.
I think didn't Martin Landau win an Oscar for playing Bela Lugosi?
I think so.
Yeah, or he's nominated.
Yeah, he was nominated. It's a good cast. It really is. George the Animal Steel is in it.
Yep. Johnny Depp plays Ed Wood. Sarah Jessica Parker's in it.
Yeah. It's like no, Glenn or Glenda is not some fake movie. This is a thing that was made.
Ed Wood was a real man who was into cross dressing.
Yeah. A Troll in Central Park. Another two Don Bluth movies in the same year. Getting downward trend. You haven't seen A Troll in Central Park, congratulations.
You did it. You've made it this far.
Little Giants.
Oh my God, that's the football movie with Ed O'Neill and Rick Moranis.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. There's Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
Ooh, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. That's a really good Freddy Krueger movie.
Love New Nightmare.
New Nightmare is one of the best Freddy Krueger movies.
It was the last Robert Englund one too.
Yeah.
No, well, the Freddy versus Jason.
Freddy versus Jason, but it was like mainline, core experience. Nightmare on Elm Street, because it's not It's not Nightmare on Elm Street. It's Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and it's a very cool plot of Freddy Krueger movie is being made, and Freddy Krueger appears in the Freddy Krueger movie.
Yeah, where Heather Langenkamp and Wes Craven play themselves.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good
movie,
and it takes the character back to the first
Yeah.
movie, where it's dead serious. Like it is, like the concept is goofy, but like once it's in action, it's like no, he's not even cracking one-liners. He's just killing these people.
Yeah.
Let's see, the Puppet Masters came out this year, but that's not. It's the Donald Sutherland, I think. Puppet Masters, not the Puppet Masters
Oh,
before.
not the puppet.
Yeah, it's like it's like some sort of weird sci-fi government agents kind of thing. Um, but yeah, let's see, Radioland Murders, a Stargate. Stargate.
There you go. More James Spader.
Yeah, more one of Roland Emmerich's best movies.
Is the series better or is the movie better?
Probably the series, but the movie's really good.
But like the Richard Dean Anderson series.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Double Dragon.
Oh boy. Hey guys, do you have Amazon Prime?
It's on there.
It's on there right now.
I do recommend it. All I remember, until I saw it again. It's like the only thing I remember about the Double Dragon movie is that somebody gets a hole punched into them.
Yeah, and it has Alyssa Milano in it.
Yeah. Boy, and Robert Patrick is in it.
He sure is.
Yeah.
He sure.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Boy, that. Yeah, that's. I think I made the joke like, "Hey, Kenneth Branagh just wants to show you how much he's worked out."
I like that Kenneth Branagh just is like, I'm just gonna put myself in my movies.
Yeah. And this is and me and the girl I'm currently shagging.
Yeah. Because what was it? He did that live action Cinderella.
He sure did.
And he did the Perot movie. And then he also did,
Murder on Express.
Murder on the Orient Express, most recent one, and 4.
Yeah, he directed. Well, he was the voice of the distress signal at the beginning. Yeah, at Infinity War. Yeah.
Yep. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The Santa Claus.
I love the Santa Claus.
I absolutely love the Santa Claus.
Tim Allen's a person, not so much.
Not so much, but the Santa Claus.
The first Santa Claus.
Yes.
Please stop watching after this movie.
Yes. Eventually, they add Martin Short, and if you get to Martin Short, you've gone too far, and it's too late for you.
when the kid grows up and gets like all awkward looking.
Yeah. I don't know the Richard Attenborough Miracle on 34th Street.
That's not a bad version of it.
No, it's perfectly serviceable.
It's like, why is the old man from Jurassic Park in this movie?
Because he still just looks like the old man from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Like it's just his beard is a little bigger.
Yeah.
That's it. Leon the Professional.
Oh, there you go. Very young Natalie Portman.
Yep.
That's
Star Trek Generations, the one with the Next Generation and the original series.
I love Generations. I love that movie. It's a good movie.
The Swan Princess, which is a cartoon that nobody saw.
Nope.
Because it wasn't Disney and it wasn't anyone else. So yes. And you had Thumbelina and Troll in Central Park from Don Bluth earlier, so he wasn't going to make a third movie in 1 year. So, Junior.
Oh my God, Pregnant Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
This came out the same year as True Lies, by the way.
Junior and True Lies came out. An alternate. True Lies in January, Junior in December. Bookmarking the year here.
Yeah.
Low Down Dirty Shame. The Page Master.
Yeah, there we go. We're back to Macaulay Culkin again.
Trapped in Paradise. Nick Cage doing his Nick Cage thing with John Lovitz.
Oh, what's John Lovitz? We're in a movie together.
Dumb and Dumber. Legends of the Fall. Mixed Nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Richie Rich.
That's like 3 Macaulay Culkin movies this
Yeah.
year.
Little
And
Women.
I think like Wish Kid was out at this period too.
Yeah. Oh man, that's right. That weird uh, live action Jungle Book that Disney did,
Oh, with
like Jason Scott.
Jason Scott Lee.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Sam Neill was in it too.
he was Jason Scott Lee. I know him best as Bruce Lee, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, I'll just leave it. Also this year, as the last movie we'll mention, uh, Street Fighter.
Oh my God.
So
I had a discussion with a coworker about that a few days ago. Like, who thought it'd be a good idea to make Raul Julia portray this big, swole-looking bad guy?
and it's the only reason to watch that movie. His
Yep.
role is the only reason to watch because at a point you realized there's a point you could tell he's like, oh, this movie, huh? This isn't
Well,
good, and I'm stuck to it. So I'm gonna act in this movie the way it should be acted. I don't care how anyone else is.
actually, no. The whole story of that is his kids were fans of Street Fighter,
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
did it because. Yeah, and it's like there's something really, really cute about that.
Yeah, I think it's like A, my kids are a big fan of it, and B, I'm dying.
Yeah.
So I gotta give them this one last thing. And despite anything else about the movie, like his scenes are the things I remember. I remember full lines that he
He
did.
chews it. He chews it up.
Absolutely kills it in that movie.
Yeah.
I think yeah, okay, that's a terrible casting, but Jean-Claude Van Damme as U.S. super soldier extraordinaire Guile is probably the most egregious casting decision. Like, yes, he looks like him, but
Yeah.
there's at no point do you feel like he's an all-American man.
No. This is also where he. This is after he'd been rumored to be Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
Kylie Minogue as your girl Cammy.
Cammy. If you can actually see it because you're on the camera, but she is.
Yeah.
She is action figure
Yeah.
form right directly behind me.
And Ming Na Wen as my girl Chun Li.
You got out better in this in this particular adaptation.
Little inside baseball, folks. JJ and I have a pretty decent Street Fighter rivalry.
Yeah.
We play online occasionally.
I play online from time to time, and it is strictly a
Chun Li versus Cammy.
feud.
And we're pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, when we go off our characters, yeah, it falls apart depending on who's big who.
JJ doesn't know how to use Shotos.
I don't. I'm all about speed, and Cameron's very fast. So.
Cannon drill.
So yeah, there's that. So yeah, excellent. I think that will wrap it up. We can now get to our lists. You ready?
Yep.
I don't think we're going to be doing the list. I saved the lists for last because I knew it was going to be very fast. Mick, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Good.
Number 2.
So better than Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
Okay. There we go.
I thought long and hard about it. It was really close. But just go and put it in it. Go ahead.
There it is. Yeah. Number 2 for Nick. And
Well,
we know for me, it is number 1.
Yep.
It's above Aladdin. Barely. Just barely. I really did think about it for a bit this morning, and I was like, do I really like it more than Aladdin? And, watching them back to back like this makes you think a little bit differently about them. And I'm like, no, I love everything about The Lion King.
Yeah, it's hard to argue it's their best movie.
Yeah, I would still say that their best movie is Beauty and the Beast, but it's not my favorite.
Right.
I mean, it's right there. It's on my list. It's number 4.
Right.
And, I mean, spoilers. it's kind of locked at this point.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
mean,
top,
unless
yeah,
Frozen 2 is just amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the top 5 lists on here, like even the top 10 is probably it's like definitely like the top 5 are probably pretty well locked on mine. I don't know
Yeah.
about yours. I don't know about yours in particular.
I don't.
But
Well, I'm open to getting. Like, here's the thing: I want Robin Hood to get knocked off. I wanted to get knocked down. Like,
but it's like at this point,
I know it won't
there's
be.
there's nothing there's nothing that's going to knock it off because
Like
like the only good movies coming up are like Pocahontas, Milan, and Hercules.
Hercules,
Because I
and
like
then
then you get like Hunchback and Tarzan in
yeah,
there. I know full well that Tarzan certainly isn't, and I don't think
I don't
Hunchback.
even know how to. I don't even know how I'm gonna do the episode. And like later on, like we get Princess and the Frog, which is I think is good, but is it
Yeah,
top 10?
yeah. There's a couple that will inch their way that have
Yeah,
the. I don't want to say top 10 because I feel like there's a couple in there. It's like I really do like that movie, and I just need to
right.
sit down and watch it and put it in context while looking at the list. Like, is it better than um, Cinderella? I don't
Yeah,
know. Like, no, but also yes. It's gonna get tricky for some things. I know full well that like nothing coming up is that way.
right.
Eh, I'm not gonna say that completely. There might be one thing that could
I
creep
mean,
in there.
I mean, I know like I really like Wreck It Ralph,
Yeah,
so that's that might be
yeah,
that might get up there, but not
yeah. But those are for future episodes.
Yep.
Until then, next week, 1995, Pocahontas, um, uh, problematic Disney movie that we can't wait to talk about. uh,
Based off a kind of true story, but not really.
like not an adaptation, just
No.
inspired by it's inspired by true events in the same way that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is inspired by true events.
Yep. Pocahontas had to stop Ed Gein from.
Yeah, yeah. So, but that's next week. So, thank you all again for joining us, and have a magical day.
Boy.
No, uh-oh. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this because the stop broadcast. But there it is.